everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Dylan D, and I apologize for how long I've been away. I know I keep popping back on, popping away again, but every time I make a schedule on or for YouTube or for videos, it will definitely get messed up. So no more schedules. I'm just going to be recording a ton of videos, and then of course just dropping them when they drop. But no, as far as that, by the time you guys watch this, I should have already recorded about another 5 or 6 videos. But then yeah, as far as that's today's video is on the Gustav Z mob deployment missile. First up though, I want to go ahead and thank all of my subscribers for sticking around. You guys are honestly best. And as well, thanking the other half of my subscribers there that have recently subscribed due to some shoutouts that I've been receiving. Some mentions here. I want to definitely thank Il Mango for one of his shoutouts back in like September of last year. That was really awesome. He's literally my favorite YouTuber, so that's pretty cool. On top of that as well, we have PewDiePie. Surprisingly enough, he linked me in one of his videos where he was making a robot dog. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it was a robot dog. Yeah, Minecraft dog. But yeah, no, as far as that's, since then, honestly, obviously, it's time for me to come back. It's time for me to come back in a big way. All these videos are building up to something ridiculous that I've been building up. But yeah, no, as far as that, you gotta go ahead and subscribe if you know you start experiencing some sort of joy and whatnot. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into today's video here. Now, what we are with is the Gustav Z mob deployment missile. This missile, of course, is meant to take a ton of mobs, of course, forward, and then, of course, deploy them wherever you need them. In which this giant block that we have in front of us is 12 blocks wide here, so it can push through it, 26 blocks across this way, and then 27 blocks high. It will be able, that's like its limit as far as like a full-on block. But as far as this here, the reason I made it was for War of the Machines. Obviously going through all the trees, the pistons and whatnot, like same thing. If you're attacking like your friend or whatnot on a survival server or, you know, something along those lines, you can build this up here and you can launch it from kind of far away and actually be able to kind of build it in secret, I guess, but then launch like a whole bunch of stuff into their direction, maybe into their base or whatnot. But yeah, no, as far as that, just some quick mechanics here. This obviously, you can see all the pistons on here are meant to just push blocks out of the way. Now we do have some up-facing piston action happening here. As far as that, I wasn't able to put in another like piston like right here with an observer behind it facing up. Reason being, of course, is just due to the fact that if I were to put an observer where this block is, that piston would update it about 3 times just to move it forward. And then, of course, if I were to just move this up to where there was a piston right here, that piston would update this observer about 3 or 4 times there as well. So it would update as soon as the piston, like if the observer was here, it would update when the piston touched it, it would update when it moved it forward, and then it would update when the piston would retract. So from there, that would cause whatever piston that was in front of it there to update too many times, and it would break the machine, make it stop. But fun keynote there, you can place another one at the bottom if you a piston face them forward. But yeah, without all of that, yeah, this is the machine. It's built into 3 segments. You have your warhead here, which you fire first. This is what's going to go ahead and push everything out of the way for you. You have your mob chamber that holds all your mobs there, and then you have this area back here, which these 2 prongs will deploy your mobs. And in order to fire it off, all you want to go ahead and do is update this sticky piston. Now fire the warhead off, update it again just to retract those before you fire off the rest. Now it'll burrow its way through that block pretty nicely. We're going to come back to this area, update that once, and then we can also update our trigger here. And I'll meet you guys on the other side. I got a, as you can see there, got a little surprise for you in the in the machine. So once it comes out this way, obviously this has already burrowed its way all the way through. I can update this so the lag will kind of stop. There we go. Alright, so now that this is caught up, this is going to go ahead and bring out the bottom blocks, deploying the mobs that you put in there. And as you can see, there's a ton of chickens. Yeah, those creepers were in there for quite a while, so that makes sense why they're dead. But yeah, that's how it works. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump over into the tutorial. All right, so for this build, you will need 64 and 62 block of choice. I'm using Endstone just because it has the highest blast resistance. 60 observers, 40 slime blocks, 64 and 5 regular piston, 15 sticky pistons, 1 redstone block, and 1 immovable block of your choice. In which, yes, this is all counting for your triggers as well to launch the missile off. You'll need a ton of fire charges there, of course, to launch it. And then your mobs of choice. You can put any mob in there that is 2 blocks tall or shorter. From there, of course, I'm even pretty sure you can put spiders in there if you're good at it. But yeah, once you have all of your mobs set up, ready to go there, and all your materials, then you're ready to build it. So once you have picked out the spot you want to build this machine, we're going to start it off with a sticky piston right here, a movable block just behind it. Grab your slime blocks, go ahead and place 2 like so, 1 on the front and then 2 to the side. Obviously, of course, your machine, the sticky piston face will be facing the direction you want the machine to fly. Next up, grab your observers, place 1 there, 1 there, and then pistons, 1 here and then 1 right there. Next up, we can grab another sticky piston, place it here, grab observers again. I'm going to place a temporary block right there, place an observer right here so we don't update that one. Next up, another temporary block here, and then another observer right there, like so. Next up, grab our endstone or whatever block of choice you chose. You want to come off 9 blocks from both of these pistons like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That over here too. All right, then once you have that, you can go ahead and place observers on the front of both of those. Grab your sticky pistons and place 2 of them facing inwards like that. Next, I'm gonna grab my pistons, 1 here, and then 1 right there. Slime blocks, 2 of which will be right there. Need a temporary block on the back here, and then an observer facing straight into that temporary, into the slime block, so those fire off like that. Slime block diagonal to these, just like this. 1 on the top of that, and then 1 to the back. Next up, you want an observer here. Observer on the opposite side, like so. Piston, and then a piston right there. All right, so we want to make sure that this comes with, so we're going to build up a little mechanism back here. 1 piston there, and 1 piston there. Just make sure that we replace that. Next up, slime blocks in the back. 1 here, 1 there, 1 here. Sticky piston like so, and another slime block there. Grab those stickies, and 1 right there. Perfect. Now once you have this, we're going to make sure it moves forward. Grab an observer, place a temporary block like so. You want an observer right there, and then another observer here. And then it should look something like that when you're all good to go. Next up is the next step. All right, so once you are ready to move forward, we're going to come back to this piston right here. We're going to come off of that piston with a slime block and then a little shape that looks like that. Off this piston, we're going to go ahead and do kind of the same thing, but it's going to be going and facing a different angle. Same thing right here. Blow that one out. Same 3 block shape, but facing a different way. And then, of course, same thing right here. Now, reason being is because we're trying to make 4 separate independent pieces that will make up our chamber right here that'll hold all the mobs. Reason that we made this first piece so long, of course, is so these sticky pistons, once this machine is crashed into whatever you were firing it at, this whole back piece right here will still keep moving forward, and then the sticky pistons will remove these blocks at the bottom, deploying your mobs. So yeah, with that being known, we're going to go ahead and grab our block of choice, fill up that area like so with 4, and then 2 right there. Observers, 1 here, 1 there, 1 here, there, and then 2 more at the bottom. Then we're going to need pistons, and then just go ahead and cover up all of those observers in 2 blocks at the bottom. Now, from there, we can grab our block of choice and fill up this entire area all the way out to this point. Now, from here, this will be the wall that actually moves our mobs forward. From here, I'm going to place out 4 temporary blocks, and then we're going to surround those blocks as well, like this. And once you've done that, you can blow out those 4 temporaries in the middle. Come up to this right top block specifically, place 2 more blocks in front of it, and then 4 more blocks to the left of it. So there's 5 total here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. then 3 on that side. Same thing here, 2 right there, and then 4 more out from that first block, so those kind of even up. And then we're going to be bringing this one out to here on both this one and that one. So once you have this, we'll grab observers, place one here and then there, so that's kind of caught up. Reason being is because when we place this slime block, this is like the determining slime block where all the others go here. We're going to want one there, here, and then there. Reason they're like this again is to keep the blocks that we're going to place here independent of one another, so they don't obviously get stuck on another one, get moved 2 blocks forward. You know what happens. But yeah, so from there we can grab our observers, place one here and then one right there. Grab our pistons again, one here, one right there, and then we need 2 pistons on each side facing outward. Reason being, obviously, of course, is if there is like a block coming this direction, as soon as it crosses that piston, it'll get pushed out to here so it doesn't get caught by that slime block or any of these back slime blocks here. But yeah, once you are looking at something that looks exactly like this, you're ready for the next step. All right, so next step is going to be like this kind of first half of the warhead, I guess, the piece that's going to start pushing everything out of the way. It's a ton of observers, so get ready for that. All right, so first we're going to grab our slime blocks, placing one coming off of each of these pistons. Piston here, there, here on the bottom, and then same on this slime block. Next we can grab temporary blocks, placing one there and there, and then we want observers facing into the slime blocks. Then you can get rid of those temporaries. Next up we're going to grab slime blocks, one on each of those pistons. We actually want them to touch the piston this time. Grab temporary blocks again. We can place them kind of coming out from this slime block because we're going to place sticky pistons facing straight into those slime blocks. Like so. Now once you have this, we can go ahead and grab our pistons actually. You want a row of pistons coming straight down on these slime blocks like that. And then when we grab our observers, we can place temporary blocks there. And then observers facing into the slime blocks. Next up, we'll grab the block of choice. Want 2 here, same there, and then 1 on both of those. Grab an observer, place them on the tips of all of those, and then pistons on the fronts of all of those observers. All right, back to that block of choice. We're going to come off of this piston with this block shape. You can destroy that first block, even it up, and then we're going to come out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once we have done that, we can go ahead and remove these 2 blocks. Put an observer in right here, and then a piston facing straight down. That piston, of course, will push out all of the stuff that'll be like on the bottom or whatnot that may get in the way. But yeah, once we have that there, we can go ahead and grab our observers to finish up this row with just 2 more there. Block of choice again, coming off of that piston, break that block, and then, of course, even it up so it looks exactly like that. Then coming out from the bottom, we want 4 blocks total, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 on the top, and then we can even that up over here. All right, cool. So once we have that, observers again, place them right in front. Then we can grab those blocks of choice, place the block there, make sure not to forget that, and then of course we also want a block on that slime block back here. So make sure that you don't forget that either. Just extra protection as far as the machines in case you're under attack at the same time. But yeah, coming out from there, we want to come out from this piston, same pattern, even it up, and then we can actually bring that up to this point, blow out those 2 blocks, observer there, and then a piston facing straight up for the top piece there. Blocks out of the way for you. Next up, once we have that, we can actually go ahead and grab our observers and place them there. Next, we're going to grab our slime blocks and we're going to come out from each one of these pistons. Cool, so once we have that, we can grab our block of choice again, and then 2, 4, like that. Same right here, 2, 4. And then, of course, we can grab our last pair of observers here and place them like this. Perfect, and then the same for the top. Boom. Yeah, once you are looking at something that looks exactly like this, you're ready to move forward. All right, so for the last piece of the warhead, we're going to make our way over here to the bottom where these observers are. We're going to go ahead and place sideways pistons, like so. And then we're also going to do that on this side as well. So sideways. Now once we have that, we can actually go ahead and place in 2 pistons like so, because these observers will power all 4 of these with the quasi connectivity. from the Java edition there. But yeah, as far as that, piston here, piston there, we can actually do the same thing right here with a whole row of pistons, so it looks just like that. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing over here, piston there, and basically all the way down this side, of course, all sideways. Grab a block of choice, we can go ahead and place 2 there. We want to grab our pistons one last time, putting them back to back like so with a block of choice in front of it. Grab our observers, we can place 2 there, and then 2 more observers right here, and then we're going to finish it up with a 4 2x2 area of pistons there, and then 2 pistons here, and then another 4x4 right there. All right, so perfect. So once you have all of that, you're ready to add in your triggers and make sure this beast works. All right, so last up is the very easy triggers, and then loading up the machine with whichever mobs you want to put in there. Real nice and easy too. We'll start at the first trigger. We'll go ahead and grab an block choice. You want to come off of these observers here without touching them. That's honestly most important. Sticky pistons coming out here, one right there, and then one facing into that one as well. And you can get rid of all the temporary blocks you placed. Now, after that, you can grab some observers. Temporary blocks, though, of course, right here. And then you want an observer facing into this sticky piston, and then one facing into that one. Get rid of those temporary blocks. Next up, without updating these observers now, you want to come out from them like so. And then 1 block on the top, 1 on the bottom. Slime blocks to fill that gap. Immovable block right here, just in case real quick. We're definitely going to need it. We'll need a redstone block there, and a sticky piston right here. Go ahead and get rid of that. All right, perfect. So that's your first trigger. You'll actually fire this one off first, and then this one second, which this one's pretty easy as well. We'll want a block right here without updating that observer, of course. Sticky piston facing right into that block, and then of course an observer facing into that sticky piston. Perfect. So as far as the update order will go, you'll grab your fire charge, you'll update this sticky piston first, sending off the warhead. It'll push everything out of the way. Next up, you'll update this observer, the back right here, sending off the chamber that holds all your mobs. And then lastly, you're going to come back here and update this observer to shoot off the little deployment device in the back. So yeah, but before we do that, obviously, I got some of my fave mobs in here right now. So kind of some fun ones too. We got Creeper. Obviously, that'd be best if you're going to drop it on your friends somewhere crazy. Then you also have your nighttime ones, as far as like skeleton and zombies. Obviously, they burn up in the sun. You don't want to do it in the day, because when the blocks of the machine actually move forward there, the sunlight can get to the mobs that are on fire by the sun. But yeah, other than that, we also will have a witch. I think witches are pretty cool as well, since they can heal. It'd be kind of scary coming at you. And chickens. Who doesn't want to send a giant missile full of chickens at their best friend or their enemy? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put a bunch of them in here. Besides, obviously, zombies and skeletons. So yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna fill it up. A bunch of random mobs here. See what we get. Throw that back. More witches in there. All right, so that should be good. As you can see here, I built up this kind of tumor-ish looking thing just to have something for it to actually like run through, as you can see. Obviously, again, this is more for like trees or something in the way, like on a survival world or something like that, like how I used it in War of the Machines to get through a clear path to where the mobs can get through. In which, yeah, it'll hit that wall over there and then stop and trigger it. But again, what you want to do is take your fire charge, update this sticky piston. It'll go ahead and launch off your warhead piece. Go ahead, update that one more time, get those blocks back, and then you can go ahead and come back to this piece, update it, and then you can update this one as well. Perfect. Gonna do it for today's video, you guys. I really hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you had a good time. Some stuff to subscribe for. Definitely wanted to see who made it to the end of the video here. But some stuff to subscribe for is going to be some of the bigger tutorials after all of those vehicle tutorials, of course. From there, some bigger tutorials such as like the Megalodon, Apophis. Definitely got to get to those. And then also as well, like how I made War of the Machines Volume 2, like how I go about making all those short films and whatnot in Minecraft. That's been pretty highly requested, so I look forward to doing that one. And then of course, the most ridiculous thing I've ever built in Minecraft is also coming up as well. But yeah, as far as that, if you guys want to, maybe take a guess or two at what I'm building, you know what to do. Feel free to blow up those comments. I will be down there with you, replying to you with any questions that you guys have as well. But yeah, no, as far as that, stay healthy, stay clean, wash your hands. And until that next video, you guys, later late.